Good morning YouTube, and welcome to a very damp and cold December morning here in Worthing. It's the, 10th of December 2013 at 10 to 9 in the morning. Just dropped my son off at school, and this is a half operating, half antenna review type video. It's a Harvest Supergainer SG7900 antenna, and the instructions came in a language that I don't speak, but I think I've put it together correctly. So a small one, a big one, another big one, and then a smaller one near the top. The instructions came in Far Eastern language. There we go. This is the package it came in. It came in lots of different pieces and I had to put it together. But the salient bit, I don't know if you can see that very well, is it claims to be 5 dB gain on 2 meters and 7.6 dB gain on 70 centimeters. SWR of 1.5 to 1. It's 1.58 meters long. It's centre loaded. It's a 7/8 wavelength on 2 meters, and it's 3 lots of 5/8 wavelengths stacked on 70 sems. Now, as it happens, I've actually measured this on 145.500. It's 1.1 to 1. I can't measure it on 70 sems. I haven't got anything that will measure that. But using 4 watts from a Wuxen, I was able to get into a repeater about 30 or 40 miles away with no trouble at all. So that's the antenna. Seems to work pretty well. This is the radio I'll be using. The Kenwood Tango Mike Victor 71. 2 meters 70 sems only. FM only. The connector on the back, if you're thinking of getting one of these, is an N-type, so you'll need a little adapter if you want to use a PL259. I bought this, incidentally, at the first and so far only Blind Veterans Rally in 2012 at St Dunstan's near Brighton. Came with the stand, and this is the rig that the blind veterans themselves actually used to use, and the second-hand asking price for mint condition was 120 quid. Very pleased with it. It outputs something like I think about 45 watts on 2 meters, probably a bit less on 70 sems, and the power will be provided courtesy of one of these. So a 34 amp hour battery. Now the plan is, I've got a day off work today and I'm going to the Newhaven area, which is in East Sussex, for Christmas lunch with a group of radio amateur friends. But before I get up there, and afterwards as well, if my stomach isn't too stuffed full of turkey, I'm going to do a bit of operating from possibly several different locations, none of which I've ever operated from before. And we'll see how I get on. Got my supplies here. There we are. 8:54 in the morning, a couple of hours of operating ahead, and apparently there are slight lift conditions today according to the Hepburn DX Info Centre tropospheric forecast, so I'm definitely hoping to be able to get into GB3EB, the new repeater in Eastbourne that came on air about a week ago, and if I'm really lucky, then I might be able to go simplex and work some French stations on the North French coast. So that's the antenna, that's the setup from my Peugeot mobile station, and you'll see in a minute how I get on. 73s for now. Well, I've arrived at this unnamed car park. I didn't see a name near the entrance over there, but the road is the B2123. Still quite busy. I'm just outside Woodingdean and the sun's just come out in the last few minutes, so you can't really see quite how high up we are here. On a clear day over that way I'd be able to see right down towards Chichester, Portsmouth, the Isle of Wight. I don't know exactly how high up above sea level we are. One thing I meant to say in the last clip was that I got the antenna for about 30 quid, maybe a couple of pounds more or less, can't remember, and it came off eBay, of course, from somewhere in the Far East. I've just literally switched on.
Well done, well done, Malcolm, on remembering all.
There's a simplex QSO going on 145575. That's a French repeater, not particularly strong, on 145.712, and I'm assuming from the frequency that that's GB3AL at Amersham, but I don't know.
Bien, bah ma foi, je n'ai rien d'autre à ajouter. Je pense que la propagation descend un petit peu, d'après ce que Gilbert a dit, ce qui est normal, vu le temps, mais enfin, il y avait une très beau lever de soleil ce matin, avec un petit peu de brume et des couleurs magnifiques. Voilà, et ok pour les photos, Daniel. Si tu peux nous attraper.
That's the Con repeater, Charlie Alpha Echo November, I think, and he said that propagation wasn't wonderful, but it's a nice sunrise, very pretty sunrise, and a bit misty, so very similar to near here in Brighton. Just had a paraglider take off from over there, but didn't get any interference from him. And along the top of the hills there's a little communications mast of some description, but the good news is it doesn't seem to be causing any breakthrough on my high gain antenna, which is good.
Radio 5 portable, and yes, that is Paul this way, no problem at all. But yes, you're making a good signal to higher ground in Hastings. So I'm very well. If you know Hastings at all, I'm literally behind the Conquest Hospital from Mike 6 of PWD/Mobile.
M6 PWD Mobile. Yes, I know roughly where you are, and I know you're on high ground, but even so, the ground behind me rises to the east, and I'm glad the signal's getting through. Thank you for the 5 and 2, 5 and 3 report. You're about the same here on the rig being a Kenwood Tango Mike Victor 71. I'm running approximately 50 watts, 50 watts, into a 7/8 wavelength antenna. I know you know roads where they all are, being a taxi driver and that, so I'm on the B2123 just outside Woodingdean on the outskirts of Brighton. Come over here to have Christmas lunch with a few radio amateur friends and thought I'd get a bit of operating in just beforehand. Paul, back to you.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, it's nice to meet you at the radio rally. It's quite interesting, because the car actually is facing your direction. I'm facing down the road. So the aerial's on the back of the car and I'm facing your direction. If I turn around, I think you might disappear. But yeah, I'm using the same antenna I was using on the when you saw me at Kempton. I did try the other one I brought, and to be honest, not so good. I've referred back to the Watson aerial again. I'll be using the Magmat I brought, but I'm actually still using the Watson antenna and the FTM 350 AC on 10 watt output. But yeah, I think this vehicle is quite tall, and I think it's got quite a good ground plane. So I think having a bit more height off the road than a normal car does has its advantages. But yeah, looking forward to the old next radio rally up at Kempton. I think it's in April. And I did work. The other day I worked at Philip again in France, on YouTube. Ed, over.
Well, I tell you what, Des, your very small antenna there is certainly doing the business, and I understand that there are slight lift conditions on. I often seem to get lucky with lift conditions when I'm out and about and when there's a bit of mist along the horizon, but even so, I only expected to get into the immediate nearby counties. I didn't think I would get all the way across virtually into the Mendip Hills, and certainly nowhere near Bath. I visited Bath on holiday earlier this year, and I know that from my home location, which is about 20 miles to the west of here, from my home location to Bath by road is something like 120 miles, so this is a fair distance this signal is travelling. But you're making the trip, totally readable, little bit of fluttering and fading, but nothing to write home about. And I'm really thrilled to work you this morning, Des, so thank you so much for taking the time to give me a call. Golf 7 Victor Charlie Yankee, back to you from Mike 0 Mike November Golf Portable.
Mike 0 Mike November Golf Stroke Portable G7 VCY, the pleasure's all mine, Ed. It surprised me sometimes, this little disco. It was actually mounted there for the son. He listens to Bristol Airport, obviously, in Yeovilton. And it does the 6, 2 and 70. So no reason to put anything else up. I don't use 2 meters too much. I've been down to Hayden Island for the weekend, so quite close to you, playing bowls, and came back last night. And we came out with a cup of tea this morning. I was listening to you talking to the other guy. I couldn't hear him, but you were very strong. So, you know, conditions must be very reasonable this morning. And it's a pleasure to make the contact. I'll take the opportunity to give you seasonal greetings, because I don't expect that we should be lucky enough to make a contact before Christmas, Ed, over.
Well, certainly not on 2 metres from home, Des. I do go on HF sometimes. 40 metres single sideband is the mode of choice. I do plan to put a temporary HF antenna up for the Christmas period. So if you hear me on HF, then please do give me a call. It'd be a very great pleasure to work you. But no, chances are we won't speak again in the next 15 days, so I'll take this opportunity to send you my very best season's greetings, as well as my best wishes from this rather dank and misty and wet Tuesday morning, just on the outskirts of Brighton. 10:20 in the morning, and in a couple of hours time I'll be in a carvery down the road, tucking into a lovely Christmas type meal with some radio amateur friends. So a bit of operating followed by a bit of eating. What could be better? Okay, Des, well, I won't keep you, but many thanks for taking the time to chat to me. I'll put it back to you for any finals, and then I'll put another call out and see if there's anybody else who would like to have a word, maybe from many miles away. Golf 7 Victor Charlie Yankee, this is Mike 0 Mike November Golf Portable.
Mike 0 Mike November Golf Stroke Portable G7 VCY, as I say, it's a great pleasure. For 2 meters it's a very good contact, regardless of conditions. WX, I didn't tell you this way, is very similar to yourself. No wind actually at all, and the temperature is around about 7 degrees. The sun's just popping through. I'm about 825 ASL this way, so a good location for 2. And we hope you'll enjoy your lunch. I certainly did over the weekend, where I were playing bowls at Hayland Island. And we had a very nice weekend, weather-wise, bowling-wise and everything else. So let's hope you enjoy your meal with your friends. And yeah, well, hopefully maybe we can find one another on 40 meters one of these days, Ed. So greetings to you, seasonal greetings to you and the family. Drive safe, have a good meal, and hopefully we'll meet again soon, Ed, from G7 BCY.
Just off, just up from the just off the A27 way. But trying to think where else, a bit further afield. I guess the next people back in the day used to go up Pycoombe, didn't they, up that general direction, and then there's Jack and Jill. So yes, but anywhere is all equal if you're on top of the cliffs, I suppose. But yes, anyway, it's certainly sounding good, and the antenna you described sound to be doing the business, and it's certainly working well with your radio there. Presumably you've got the radio that you normally have at home there, so it's working all very well, Edmund. I wonder which frequencies you worked Mendip Hills on. That was a good one, wasn't it? Or was that through a repeater? Back to you from M3HXF.
M3 HXF, M0MNG Portable. No, I haven't got round to doing repeaters yet. Everything has been simplex. You are contact number 6, and all the activity has been on this very frequency. I've tried several repeaters. I've heard a couple of French ones. I've managed to get into GB3EB, the new repeater at Eastbourne, which I'm pleased about. I can hear GB3AL up there at Amersham, and I can hear MB7ISC, the Echolink thing at Ferring, but I'm not planning to use that from here unless all the contacts dry up, because I can get into that with a couple of milliwatts from home. What I'm sort of more interested in doing, given that I've come up here, and I don't come up here every day, I'm more interested in seeing if I can work people simplex, 30, 40, 50 plus miles
yes,
away.
Okay, and fine business. Mike 0, Mike November Golf Portable, George Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Delta. You have the call sign correct, and I have all of your details. The name is Alan, Alpha Lima Alpha November, Alpha Lima Alpha November. The QTH is the town of Cumbrahan, which I better spell for you. It's typically Welsh. It's C Charlie, W Whiskey, M Mike, B Boston, R Radio, A Alpha N November, Cumbrahan, 5 kilometres north of the city of Newport, in IO H1 Lima Papa. And your report is 55 with Queen Sugar Baker, 55 with Queen Sugar Baker. Go ahead.
Yep, okay, Alan, all copied. There's a little bit of QSB and fading creeping in, but thank you so much for giving me a call. I never dreamed that a station in Wales would call me. I thought I might get across to France or maybe work Hampshire, Dorset, up into London, but I certainly didn't think I would get that far. So the 50 watts or so from the Kenwood Tango mic and the 7/8 wavelength antenna is clearly working very well. I just wish I knew a bit more about this particular car park and I could give you all the details, such as its location, height above sea level, that kind of thing, but there are no signs here at all. All I can tell you is that I am on the outskirts of Brighton, Bravo Romeo India Golf Hotel Tango Oscar November, Brighton, and I am up pretty high and I can see mist along the horizon, but really that's all I know. Alan, back to you.
160 metres. Fine business. No QSB on that overhead. Fine business. 55 solid. Yes, okay. I get the gist of where you are. My QDH is 250, 250 metres, approximately about 750 to 800 feet above sea level on the side of a mountain called M0MNG, and have quite a good takeoff in your direction. One running the same power as you, 50 watts up the shack, into a white stick on the side of the bungalow, and the transceiver is also Kenwood at TMV71E. 73, thank you very much indeed for the QSO. Delighted to work you in Brighton this morning, and I wish you a good DX and hope that you can work into France. But lovely to work you today. M0 Mike November Golf Portable, Golf Whiskey 1 Mike Charlie Delta, clear on your final. Go ahead.
Golf Whiskey 1 Mike Charlie Delta from Mike 0 Mike November Golf Portable, a local station, transmitted very quickly at the beginning and said 160 metres, so thank you very much to whoever that was. So there we are, I'm 160 metres above sea level, and I'll come to that station next, so thank you for the information there. And just very quickly, Alan, because this is a slightly unusual QSO, given the band and the mode and everything, would you like me to send you a QSL card direct through the post, which I'm very happy to do if you collect such things? Back to you.
Yes, okay, from GW1MCD. Okay, fine, Ed. No, I've given up QSL some 20 odd years ago, but EQSL is okay. EQSL is okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I've never been on EQSL, but it doesn't matter, it's fine. I'm relatively new to the hobby, only became licensed for the first time in 2009, so I have a fledgling QSL card collection, and that's one of the things that, one of the aspects of the hobby that does appeal to me a little bit, but I know that there are people out there who've been licensed longer than I have, who have boxes and boxes and boxes of cards from many years or across many years, so I fully understand the not collecting thing. You are contact number 8 that I've had, but easily the furthest away. The best DX in inverted commas up till now was Golf 7 Victor Charlie Yankee on the outskirts of Bath in Somerset. But I never thought I would actually make it into Wales, so thank you so much, Alan, for giving me a call. Golf Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Delta, 73 is to you and yours, and Merry Christmas, of course. From Mike 0, Mike November Golf Portable.
Mike 0, Mike November Golf Portable, GW1 MCD. Yes, okay, fine business, Ed. Yes, I've been licensed, 30 years now, and gave up QSL quite a while ago. But if you go into QRZ.com, you can actually log the contact. If you put my call sign in QRZ.com, you can log the contact there and I'll reciprocate. 73, and thank you very much for your portable operation from Golf Whiskey 1, Mike Charlie Delta in Cumbria. Bye-bye.
I've been up here a couple of hours, actually. I haven't managed to get across to France yet on 2 meters FM simplex, but I have managed to work Wales on 2 meters FM, which I thought wasn't bad.
You worked Wales on 2 meters FM from Woodingdean today with all this mist and fog around.
I have indeed, and I got a 5 and 5 report. I blame the propagation, you see. You know you're in trouble when people can hear me in Wales, Pete. Back to you.
It's not just French that you can speak Welsh as well. There must be a bit of ducting going on, I guess, getting from there to Wales. But doesn't bode well then for LR, does it? 5.9 plus. If you can also squawk to Wales, don't think there's a lot of comparison there.
Well, I'm using the lowest power setting going on the Kenwood TM V71E, whatever it is, and that's about 5 watts or so. So I'm not running mega power, but I've got myself a new antenna for the car, which I think is 3 lots of 5/8 of a wavelength stacked, one on top of each other. So there's 7 point something decibels worth of gain, but in reference to what, they don't say on the packet. So for all I know, they might have just made it up.
I would think they most definitely has. If it's 3.58, you're kidding me. And this thing must be a hazard when you go under bridges and such like. I can understand being 3.58 on 70, but 3.58 on 2 is getting a bit of a length there, old boy. And yeah, I'm sure it's just DBI, not DBD.
Yeah, it's 3.58 on 70 centimetres. It's a 7/8 of a wavelength on 2 meters, and I'm not sure I would drive along with it at any great speed. It's about 1.6 meters high, I think, or something like that. G4PAP. Haven't said your call sign for a while, so I'll say it now. This is M0MNG Portable.
Saves me a job. G4PAP mobile, just for the people out there that collect those sorts of things. Train spotting, bird watching, that sort of thing. Yeah, yes, you want a bit of substantial mag mount for that, otherwise it will end up on the road or through somebody else's window. Not a good move, that. The 7/8 on 2 always used to be a little blinder. Oscars used to make a really nice 2 meter 7/8. Looked identical to a CB aerial. So they used to regularly get nicked by those goddamn CBers, who then obviously got a shock and sometimes damaged their wirelesses. Shame on them for stealing it, plugging it in. But you could never run more than about 150 watts through them because you blow up the capacitor.
I don't think there's any danger of that, Pete. The most power I can get out of this is 50 watts, although in practice it puts out less than that. And I'm running it from a 35 amp hour lead acid battery, so I've done most of the 2 meter simplex stuff up at 50 watts, so I'm giving it a bit of a rest now by running lower power and maybe going through some repeaters. I can hear an awful lot from here. But apart from GB3MH, which is a repeater I'm quite fond of, I must say, you are the only person that I've worked through one so far. when I leave GB3LR in peace, I might see if I can get into NS up there in Camberley or wherever it is these days. Anyway, peace, lovely to chat to you. I'll put it back to you for a final one, and if I don't speak to you again before, if you manage to hide from me successfully, and I wouldn't blame you, may I take this opportunity to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas, and hope to see you face to face again before too long. G4PAP, M0MNG Portable, putting it round to you for a final one.
Oh, that's very sweet of you, Edmund.
Well, I'm very pleased so far. I've had roughly 12 contacts in 2 hours. 9 of them simplex on 2 metres. Best DX was Wales, near Cwmbran. The other 3 through GB3MH, GB3LR and GB3NS respectively. And I'm now going to close down from here, but maybe back on the air later from elsewhere, from this location, which one of the walkers has told me is known locally as the Bexhill car park. It's on the Falmer Road and the Lewis Road junction near Woodingdean, so not a bad location for VHF or UHF at all. Well, it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm standing on Ditchling Beacon, somewhere else I've never been before. The turkey and Christmas pud has been well and truly eaten. It'll be dark in half an hour or so, so I'm not sure I'm going to stay here very long, even though I might hit the worst of the rush hour. It's getting quite cold. I can see my breath in front of me. Somebody at the meal said it was only +1 degrees in Newhaven this morning, and I would guess it's something similar to that now. So let's fire up the radio and hear what we can hear.
Yeah, Mike 0, Mike November Golf Portable, Papa Alpha stroke Golf Mexico 4, Charlie X-Ray Mexico Portable, PA stroke GM4CXM Portable. Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch the name. Fine on the location there, Brighton. The name here is Ray, Radio Alpha Yankee, and the QTH is Amsterdam, and you're working through the PI3 ASD repeater in Amsterdam. QTH is near Glasgow. We're just down here on a few days holiday before heading back on Thursday. So back to yourself. That's 0MNG Portable, Papa Alpha stroke GM4CXM Portable.
Papa Alpha stroke Golf Mike 4 Charlie X-Ray Mike stroke Portable. This is Mike 0 Mike November Golf Portable. Well, I hope you're having great fun there, Ray, just before Christmas. Thank you so much for coming back to me. I don't think I've ever opened a Papa Alpha repeater even in good conditions from down here. So lovely to work you. The name is Ed Echo Delta, running 50 watts, 50 watts approximately, into a 7/8 wavelength antenna, and I'm sitting on top of Full Beacon. No, I'm not, that's wrong. I'm sitting on top of Ditchling Beacon. I don't even know where I am. Just to the north of Brighton, very high up above sea level. First time here ever, never been here before. Starting to get dark, but that doesn't matter. And it's been misty, cold and damp all day, which has certainly helped with propagation on 2 meters. Back to you, Ray.